Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Throughout the entire lifespan of Warzone so far, we've seen a lot of different metas. The Grau was dominant, the Kilo was dominant, things like the Doof and the DMR we don't like to talk about. But one meta that stayed consistent throughout the entire year really is of course the sniping meta. Sniping works in basically any mode. Solos it is especially good in, but you can do a lot with the sniper loadout in general, so today we are breaking down the top 5 best snipers and the best loadouts for them here in Warzone. As always, if you enjoy the video or if you find it helpful, a like rating would be much appreciated. Let's see if we can crack 3,500 likes on this video. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, we are getting closer and closer to 700,000 subs. So if you want to stay on top of the latest Call of Duty news, setups, tips, intel, everything like that, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. So starting off at number 5, I've got the AX50, and to be honest, this and the number 4 spot are pretty close. You could probably swap them in terms of rankings and it really wouldn't make much of a difference, but the AX50 has been a super consistent sniper all throughout the year. Of course, it is a Modern Warfare weapon, so literally since the start, this one has been a go-to choice. It actually has one of the best max velocities out of any sniper in the game. I believe it's like the 4th best according to true game data, meaning this is absolutely capable of fighting at some insane ranges. Of course, you gotta learn the bullet drop if you're really trying to continuously hit shots at really long ranges. But with that great velocity, that also means you don't have to compensate as much when you're fighting some more reasonable fights, like say rooftop to rooftop in downtown, or from like airport apartments to superstore, so on and so forth. Personally, the AX50 is not a favorite of mine just because it's a bit slower than some of the other options we've got, but in terms of being a good sniper, the AX50 is absolutely in the conversation. So when it comes to the setup here, I'm running the monolithic suppressor. This is an obvious one as always. No radar blip when you shoot and you get some better range. I've got the factory barrel on there for the best range and velocity possible. I also use the tac laser for better speed and stability. I like the variable zoom scope personally. You could always just use the normal sniper scope though and trade that for like the stipple grip tape or focus or something else. Then finally, I've got the assassin stock on there for better ADS speed as well. Also, I do use the cross-thread reticle on this and all my other sniper setups. I think that is by far the best sniper reticle we have, so if you're curious about that, yeah, there's your answer. Then coming in at number 4, I've got the HDR, and like I said, I feel like this could probably be swapped with the AX50 in terms of ranking just because the two are extremely similar. Personally, I do like the HDR more. It just feels like it's more of a, I guess, like a natural sniper at the end of the day. And for what it's worth, the stats do pretty much reflect that. It does have a slightly better max velocity with the right setup on it, so it would require even less compensation at any range, honestly. And theoretically, it would make those extremely long-range sniper battles, or sniper shots rather, a bit easier as well. Although obviously, you still have to know how to lead and adjust for that bullet drop in general. But overall, the HDR seems to be the preferred option between the two from what I can tell at least. Just watching streams and gameplay with snipers, if people are using one of these two, it's usually the HDR. Again, this one is a bit slower than some of the other options coming up, but it is a great option for a sniping setup. And here, for the attachments, I'm using the monolithic suppressor once again, the HDR Pro barrel for the best range and velocity. The other barrels here are pretty much useless when it comes down to it. Then I also have the tac laser yet again, either the variable zoom scope or the focus perk. Then also the Stalker Scout stock for a better ADS speed. Essentially, this is the same exact setup as on the AX50, just with some different attachment names. Now, coming in at number 3, I've got the SPR, aka the R700. This is definitely one of the best sniper options we have in the game right now. It is pretty lightweight, so it is great for aggressive sniping. It's got a pretty fast reload, it is a one-shot headshot, and the velocity can be really, really good. Keyword there, though, is in fact can. Basically, if you have the right attachments, the SPR can absolutely compete. If you don't have the right setup, it's actually pretty bad comparatively. Pretty much, you need to be using either the Lapua or the Norma mags. The Norma mags are going to end up giving you the best velocity possible for the SPR, and in total, it ends up being the 3rd best according to true game data. And I mean, the numbers pretty much speak for themselves. One thing I will say is your scope choice here is a bit awkward, just because it has a lot of custom ones. So like initially, I had to mess around quite a bit to see what I wanted to use the most. But ultimately, for my attachments here, I settled with the monolithic suppressor, of course, the 26-inch barrel for that better range and velocity. Technically, it's got better control too, but that's kind of an obsolete stat on a sniper. I also got the tac laser once more, the normal mags as mentioned for that better velocity, then also the SPR 28mm scope, which is essentially just the sniper scope. Variable zoom is also a great option too though if you're not fully on board with the solo zero optic. Then at number 2, I've got the Tundra from Cold War. This is in fact the only Cold War sniper on the list today. I mean, the other two just can't compete whatsoever. We've talked about that before. But when it comes down to it, the Tundra has a lot of really advantageous bonuses. For one, you can get the best bullet velocity out of any sniper in the game when using the Tundra with the correct attachments. You can also get it to have no glint, which is a massive advantage. Obviously, that glint gives away your position very easily and is oftentimes why you can outgun or outsmart a sniper in certain situations. However, when you don't get that information, it's obviously a lot harder to 1, find, and 2, outgun that sniper unless you get like a lucky hard ping or you have them on your UAV. So no glint and great stats makes the Tundra a super efficient sniper to use. It's really powerful, obviously a one-shot headshot. Kinda slow, but when you're really using this thing in the normal sniper battles and sniper ranges, that speed isn't going to be a huge factor. Just be aware and just know you're not going to be running into Superstore getting a ton of quickscopes with this thing the vast majority of the time. And for the setup here, I've got the wrapped suppressor for better velocity. Also, it's going to keep me off the minimap as well. I've got the combat recon barrel for more of the same, just better velocity there. Those two are the big factors here, I would say. Then I also have the bipod, the 7-round mag, and also the Royal and Cross 4x optic to hide that glint. That, again, is a huge aspect of this setup, too. And then at number 1, you may have guessed it, I've got the Kar 98K. Now, a lot of people are going to go back and forth between the Kar and the SPR. Overall, they are very similar. But to me, even though the Kar does have slightly less velocity than the SPR, it just feels so much better, at least in my mind. I'm without a doubt the most confident in my shots when I'm using the Kar. It's just like the perfect combination of damage with the one-shot headshots, then also mobility. This thing is just a fantastic aggressive sniper, and I, for one, absolutely love it. So here I've got the monolithic suppressor, yet again, the 27.6-inch barrel for better range and velocity, the tac laser, the variable zoom scope or the sniper scope, honestly either one works, then finally the comb stock for better stability. Now, in general, I'm probably running these setups with something like an FFAR as like an assault rifle primary, maybe even a MAC-10 or an MP7, and I'll throw up all those setups on the screen right now if you guys want to go ahead and screenshot those. I just feel like those sort of complement these setups the best, especially things like the Kar and the MAC-10. Fantastic setup. By far one of my favorite sniping loadouts right now. FFAR and Kar also works, and you can just swap out the snipers as needed. Those are definitely like my go-to weapon setups there. Then, of course, we got the usual EOD, Overkill, and Amped. We try and grab Ghost throughout that second loadout. Then also, I've got the Semtex and the heartbeat sensor on there too. So yeah, with all of that being said, those are the top 5 snipers here in Warzone and the best setups for them. And that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And, of course, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with pretty much everything going on in COD, from news to intel to updates and everything else in between, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know whenever I upload a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.